Hey everyone, it's November 13th, and you're listening to the NerdivoreCast, where we consume all things nerd. My name is David, aka Double D, and I am joined by no one. If you didn't catch our podcast last week, Anthony is taking a break from the podcast. He will be focusing on some school, some classes, and we'll be focusing on that in the time being, and maybe we'll see him back. And then we also have Norman out today. He's still feeling a little sick. He told me he had to go to urgent care today, so it's just me today, and we'll see if I can do 2 hours on my own. But we have some news. It was apparently Netflix Geeked Week last week. Some video game announcements. We got a new SteamDeck version coming out. And then we also have some stuff that you could catch this week. But let's start it off with what I've been up to. Before I get into, I guess, the nerdy stuff. Met up with my friends, did some bowling on Thursday. We usually bowl at Parkway Bowl. And we met up kind of late, but everyone decided to bring their families. So, and it was a bad day for bowling, so I did not save the scores. But we went to Smokey and the Brisket afterwards. Where you could find this is on the 8th, on Lake Murray Boulevard. Anthony was here. I'd say it's kind of near the Crazy Freds that we used to play Magic at. But this place is called Smokey and the Brisket, and it's a pretty decent place for barbecue. They had some pretty good brisket, and it's got like this old school diner look in a way, with like converted cars as like some of the places you would sit at. And there's like a little arcade for kids to play the old Simpsons games and stuff. And yeah, this place was pretty good. I've been here. This is like the second time I've been here, and it's pretty good. Would I say it's better than Grand Old Barbecue? Nah, no, but it's very hard to get food there apparently. But if you're ever in the Lake Murray area, La Mesa area, this is a pretty good barbecue spot. On the drive there, so we usually play at Parkway Bowl, which is all the way over here. And then you could just take this Fletcher Parkway Street to Lake Murray Boulevard to get to Smokey and the Brisket. And then on the way there, I saw like some other spots that we could maybe check out. There's another barbecue spot called Pioneer Barbecue. I think I've been there once, and it's pretty good. And then I also saw like a random izakaya, which is like Japanese food, and then it's like all the way over here. I was like, dang, they got pretty good scores, and like it looks pretty good, so I kind of want to try it next time. So that might be the next place to go to after bowling. We've been trying to like find other places to eat at. Like, I hate going to the same place for happy hour, so Yogurt Mill, I guess I could go there. Looks like we got Anthony and Norman and Juju in the chat. And yeah, I did take out chat because I've seen Twitch's new rules. We can stream on both platforms, but we can't have YouTube chat showing. So that's why I removed chat off the side. So, and you can get a better look at my dumbass room, which will be getting an upgrade later this week. I'll talk about that later. But yeah, Smokey and the Brisket, and then some new places in La Mesa to check out. I know Anthony and them went to Seven Caves over the weekend. I wasn't able to go. Wasn't feeling well. Still not really that great, but the show must go on, and hopefully Norman's feeling a little bit better. But stuff I watched. I watched The Killer on Netflix, and this is a David Fincher movie. If you don't know what he does, he did Seven, he did Fight Club, The Social Network, and that remake of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And yeah, it has that like look and vibe. And the best way I can explain it is like this is like Dexter in a way, or it's a cross between Dexter, Fight Club, and John Wick. So main character here is Michael Fassbender. He's an assassin, kind of like John Wick, and he's really good at what he does until this mission or whatever he kind of f's up, and the consequences that happen after you mess up as an assassin, I guess. And then most of the time he's like doing like inner monologue, so he's like talking like what the kind of like lifestyle he lives and stuff, and what you have to give up to become like a really good assassin. And yeah, it was an interesting movie. I will say once it ended, I was like, I guess I didn't have to watch that. Like, it's kind of forgettable once you're finished, but it's like somewhat interesting at least. Like, I I didn't feel like I wasted my time, but it was also like I'm probably not gonna watch that again. Like, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It's on Netflix, so catch it there. I know it came out in theaters. I think it would have been weird in theaters. Maybe I would have more reverence for it if I watched it in theaters, just because it's like I feel like that's where you really should watch movies instead of just on my phone while I'm working. So maybe I would have liked it more in a movie theater setting, but as a phone movie while I was working, it had parts of it where I had to like glance down and be like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen. So there is some action and a lot of planning and assassin, like the game Hitman, where you're like setting up a kill. So interesting movie. I suggest at least checking it out on Netflix. Also caught the end of Loki season 2. This was 6 episodes on Disney Plus, and yeah, it was pretty good. Like when Marvel is the MCU is kind of like not that great right now, like especially after the Marvels came out, and I'm gonna just pass. I saw the secret end, or not the secret, but like the post credit ending to that, and I was like, wow, I guess they ran out of ideas and gotta bring those people into the fold. But yeah, Loki season 1 was more about like introducing the multiverse and variants and stuff, and in this one, on top of multiverse, they included time travel, and yeah, it was pretty good how they summed up this season. Be interesting to see if they do a season 3, or if this is like the last we see of these characters. But I would assume this would tie into like the Kang's Dynasty Avengers movie that's supposed to come out like probably in like 4 years now. So it's a good Marvel show. It's hard to say that about any of the Marvel shows that have come out. And yeah, this is like the most interesting one. And then, I mean, I'm trying to think if you need to know anything else other than Loki, but like, I guess the Ant-Man movie is like somewhat referenced, that Quantumania one, and you get to see more of Kang the Conqueror in that. So, but I think this is okay as a self-contained series. Like, you just need to know Loki was a bad guy at one point, and things change for him. So yeah, good show. Guess give it a recommend to check it out as one of the few good Marvel TV shows. And I also caught the first episode of this show, The Curse, with Nathan Fielder and Emma Stone, and I guess this is Benny Savdi, which is, I think, his writing, Nathan Fielder's writing buddy on this show. And it's a weird one. Nathan Fielder has had like 2 shows, one called Nathan For You on Comedy Central. I think that ran for like 2 or 3 seasons. It's like him helping out people with outrageous ideas. Like one of them was a gas station wasn't getting that much, traffic because gas prices were getting so high, so people didn't really want to go to that one. And then they would come up with this rebate program, and then in order to fill in the rebate form, you'd have to like mail it in or drop it off on top of a mountain in order to get your money back. So it was really dumb. That one was a little more reality show in a way, but you could clearly tell like maybe it's a little fake. Last year he had The Rehearsal. That show was really weird, and there are some parts like I feel like that first episode seemed real, like a real like reality show, and then it devolved into this weird ass like what The Rehearsal was really for. And this one is more of like him and Emma Stone are a couple that have this like HGTV show, like renovating homes, but they're trying to renovate the community, like, and it's one of those, we're trying to increase livability, but then that's also raising prices in a way. So I don't know, it's a whole social society thing underneath, and then there's just weird awkward scenarios in the show. So it's like super cringe, but it's like I gotta keep watching. So there is surprise penis in this episode, that first episode. So a weird show. But it's one of those like car wrecks that you just gotta keep watching to see where it goes. But yeah, The Curse, that's on Showtime and streaming on Paramount Plus. It's week to week, only the first episode's been out. And I've been watching a couple of animes week to week now instead of binging them. And I'll continue to sing praises about this show, Free Aaron. It's about a battle mage, and it's after generations after her and a group of adventurers defeated the Demon King, and she's going on a new adventure with other people. And yeah, this one, the last 2 episodes that have been dubbed have better action sequences now. And then the way the last episode that was dubbed ended was like, oh damn, it just started, because like they're like talking like a bunch of demons were talking about this battle, the mage, and then it's like, no, she's the Demon Slayer. And I was like, holy shit, she's known as the Demon Slayer? That's pretty cool. So I guess it just started off. It's on episode 8, or not really started off, but it's getting really interesting now. Like, she has her adventurers, her group, her party now. So that I'm really enjoying it. Other animes, Spy X Family season 2 is a bunch of one-off episodes so far. There's MF Ghost, the successor to Initial D. There's a Formula 1 show, or Formula 3 Overtake, and then there's that second season of Eminence of Shadow, that was one of Norman's recommends, or he at least watched that. So that's been going on, and that's the stuff I've been watching. We've got a new a new Yakuza game called Like a Dragon Gaiden, and this one's a little like, I guess it's a DLC that became a bigger game in a way, kind of like Modern Warfare 3, but that game sounds like it blows, so people are not happy with that game. But this one is a side story. It's a Gaiden. That's what Gaiden means in most things. So this one has you playing as Kiryu, who was the main protagonist in the first like 7 Yakuza games. There's a new main character now for the RPG Yakuza games. And then this one plays like the old ones where it's a beat 'em up. And then you go around town. This one has you not in the main city, but like one of the other cities that they've created called Sotenbori, which is in Osaka. So you're mostly like going around there. And then the main character here, Kiryu, he's usually in this like white gangster outfit. And then now he's just like a secret agent, which looks pretty badass. And then in this mission, he was trying to look for the homeless people that I guess these gangsters have just been like shacking up into an apartment or office building to keep them off the streets in a way. And here's some of the combat. This is me just wrecking a bunch of people. So it plays like a beat 'em up. You have 2 fight styles, and one is like the old one, this red one here. You could pick up weapons. You could do heat actions where you press Y if you have enough like this heat gauge, and then you could do like a cinematic move here, like this one where I'm kicking a knife into the guy's gut, and then just kicking him while he's on the ground. I have some other stuff I could show. We have there's usually like a kind of like paradise area in these games where like the rich just live life to the fullest. In this one, it's like a carrier, like a storage boat that's just in the middle of the ocean, and then you have to take a helicopter to get there. And then once you get there, it's just like pleasure castle. Like there's a casino, a coliseum. At one point they show like rich people like using people kind of as slaves, but then like the way they're not really slaves, but they're people that have lost here on the island and then like bet it all, and then they don't have enough money to pay it back, so they pretty much have to just work it off. But yeah, I think in previous games it used to be like an underground bathroom or the sewer system underneath the homeless park, and then that was weird. And then one was like a trash barge that was going through the river, and then once you landed on it, like there's a secret staircase that brings you down to this like casino area. So for this one, it was a random boat out in the ocean, and I was introduced to it on chapter 2. And then yeah, you have to go through the Coliseum system. You can gamble on here. You can play like mahjong to your heart's content on in this game. There's also those other like Japanese games like Hanafuda, that card game, Texas Hold'em, Blackjack. You could play all sorts of random gambling. Let me show a boss fight, or the start of a boss fight. So like this guy pretty much kidnapped your friend, and then they were beating him up trying to get information out. And then one of the things I like about these Yakuza games, it just has like these crazy intros for like boss fights. And then I'll go ahead and play the sound. It's like, you just kicked me out a window. And then these other guys are just like, we're ready to fight, boss. And then it has like this crazy ass like nameplate. But yeah, let's see. Stuff about this game, I guess, like it is $50, so it's not I guess what games are going for nowadays, $70. It does feel like not a full Yakuza game, but it still feels like one. Like it's hard to explain. Like I feel like they've always added more stuff in as the Yakuza games have come out. And then in this one, they didn't really add a new place or anything other than that castle in the water. But like fighting style is kind of from like Yakuza 2 and 6. And like there's no really new mini games, which I'll get to in a bit. But and I think this is only like 5 or 6 chapters, and I've only finished 2 so far. But like I think to get 100%, it would take like 20 or 30 hours compared to the. I think it would take about like 60 hours in some cases. But yeah, I'm enjoying the game. It's amazing I didn't just like power through this like I have with Assassin's Creed and Spider-Man 2, but you know, maybe I'm just a little burnt out from playing video games, but I'm enjoying this one so far. I did have to reformat my computer, and I had to like, you know, get it back to where it was in a way, but now it's a little bit more snappier and stuff. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, let's see what else do I have to show. So there are mini games still. There's darts. Love me some darts. There's like billiards, pool. There's a golf mini game. I think there's probably a batting cage as well. They also have like a Sega arcade where it has like a bunch of like old games like Outrun, a motorcycle game, Virtual Fighter 2, and a bunch of claw machines. And then other stuff that they have karaoke, which caught me off guard because it was like, oh man, this is like a little difficult, but it's a good rhythm game. And it's really great. Like looks like, you know, old school karaoke. And then at some point it becomes like it plays a video in the background. And then when you first start the karaoke, it even has like it has like that splash screen like this for karaoke. Other stuff they have Pocket Racer, which is like slot cars. And I remember this was first introduced in Yakuza 0, and I got super addicted to it. And it's great to see that it's back. I think they've brought it back for the other Yakuza games as well. And what else? Oh, and then one of the, I guess, biggest changes is this immersive club. So it'd be funny if Norman was here. This is a streamer, a VTuber that eventually, you know, stopped VTubing and became a regular streamer. Her name is her VTuber name was Kiryu Coco. I forgot what her streamer name is K-san, and then it's just K here. And then what they used to do in previous Yakuza games is just like digitize the girl. And then in this, they just have them, straight up here talking to you. I mean, it's not live or anything. It's like all pre-recorded and stuff. But still, it's hilarious that they have actual people. And, like in the previous games, you kind of like have a conversation with them. And then you have to pick the right ones to increase your affection level. It's kind of hilarious. And it's hilarious just seeing this girl, like, who used to be a VTuber, is now just like in the Yakuza game. So, and yeah, this is probably the funniest new addition to the game. But yeah, this is I'm having fun with it. I'll give my final score on it once I finish it. It's not bad. I will say that I haven't. This game takes place between Yakuza 6, Like a Dragon, and then it's supposed to be kind of like also for the next game that's coming out next year, Like a Dragon 2, Infinite Wealth. And I haven't fully played Yakuza 6 and Like a Dragon, so like I don't quite know who some of the characters are. Like, I'm assuming you don't really need to know. Like, all you need to know is like in Yakuza 6, Kiryu was shot and like people thought he was gonna die, but then they just this game picks it up where that left off, and he's just a secret agent in a way, like that's employed by like this organization. And yeah, I think I would more enjoy it if I played those games, but I think it's perfectly fine if this is like your first one. But there are references to like the other three good games that I like, which is Yakuza 0, 1, and 2. So, and yeah, you get to talk to Kason, which is hilarious. And I think that's it with what I've been up to. And let's get into some news by Kason. First up, we got a new Steam Deck, the OLED version, which is coming out November 16th. This adds a 7.4 OLED screen to it. And compared to the 7-inch LCD screen that the original Steam Deck had, there's also some slight upgrades to it. We got a better battery life. They've kind of like optimized the APU, which is the processor in this thing. They updated the Wi-Fi module to be 6E instead of, I think, the original Steam Deck has Wi-Fi 5. I don't know what the letters are for those. I think it's like AC or AX. I don't know. But it's a better Wi-Fi. And then also it has better thermals because it has a bigger fan. Also, it weighs a little bit less. Other upgrades, there's an updated carrying case, a better touchscreen. It's easier to repair and mod. And there's going to be a limited edition as well, where it has a translucent, a Smokey translucent case, whatever, shell for the Steam Deck OLED. But it's a limited edition. And then, yeah, like, it's not supposed to be upgraded visuals or like processing power. It's just running a little more efficiently to have better battery life. And the pricing starts at $549 for the 512 gig version, and then $649 for the 1 terabyte and $679 for the limited edition. And then this also drops the price in the original Steam Deck, The 64 gig is $349. The 256 gig here is $399, and then the 512 is $449. So taking that price of the original Steam Deck, the LCD 512 is $449, and then upgrading to the OLED version would be bring you up to $549, and then another $100 would get you the 1TB version. I'm gonna assume Anthony's not gonna get this. He already has the Steam Deck. I don't know if like a better screen would do it for him to upgrade. I'm assuming better performance, or like a better 1080 at 60 would be a decent enough upgrade to get him to upgrade. This is a more premium version. Like for me, I would still not entirely interested in getting a handheld. If there was better performance, maybe, but I'm happy to play on my Switch for handheld. I'm fine playing here at my desk. I also have the couch in the back if I want to play on a TV here. So but I do see the benefit of having one of these. Like say I rode the bus to work or rode the train or trolley, I would maybe play this, but I'm also like stuck just playing the watermelon game on my phone, so that helps pass the time. And yeah, I don't know, it's an interesting thing to really want. But I mean, if you got it, if you have the money and you're interested, go check it out. And yeah, this comes out November 16th. And let's see, what else do we have? We have a new Tekken reveal. So let's go check that out.
Get ready for the next battle. Tekken 8. New challenger.
Reina! It's pretty badass. Damn. Yeah, that's Reina, which is hilarious. Like, doesn't really quite tell you here who she is in the trailer, but she's another one of Hayachi's illegitimate children. So he has Kazuya as his actual son, think Lee Chaolan was an adopted son. Who else? Lars Alexander is another son. I think Leo is another son, or just a war torn orphan. But yeah, Reina is his daughter, is Hayachi's daughter. So kind of weird, but again, game is coming out January 26th, and it's super hyped to play this again. So hopefully there's an open beta next month or something to get a try with some of these characters before the game comes out. And yeah, I think that's the end of the roster reveals. So Reina's our last character. She's the third new character in this. So I'm sure we'll see other characters as DLC. I feel like they added like 20 characters. Maybe 20 is stretching. Maybe 12 for Tekken 7. But they had weird ones like Negan and Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. So be interesting to see what they do with Tekken 8. If they add Kiryu, I think was one of the requests. Kiryu from Yakuza, that'd be pretty badass. So yeah, Tekken 8 is our trailer for this week. We had the Video Game Awards 2023 nominations announced today, and that show will be happening December 7th. And then a lot of the awards is going to like Baldur's Gate 3 or Alan Wake 2. Well, they're nominees. Here we have Game of the Year. It's between Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Mario Brothers Wonder, and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's between Zelda and Baldur's Gate. And then Alan Wake and Spider-Man are close third and fourth. And then Wonder's pretty good, but I don't know if it's Game of the Year. We got some other stuff. Narrative. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. Because, like, I played Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2. But I haven't played, like, Baldur's Gate 3 or Alan Wake. And I think Alan Wake sounds insanely good. but also weird. So, hard to gauge what's really going to win this year. It's up to voting. Like, you can go to their website and vote. I think people will probably vote for Baldur's Gate 3 because everyone's been happy with it. But I don't know. I thought Final Fantasy 16 was good. Spider-Man 2 is also good. Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Order, or whatever the hell that one was called. What is it called? I'm sure it's one of the games here. Armored Core was pretty good too, but not Elden Ring levels, I guess, for people. Fighting game, Mortal Kombat 1 versus Street Fighter 6, I think, for that one. Best adaptation is an interesting one because it's whatever's been turned into a movie or TV show, and I think Arcane won that last year, and I would say The Last of Us probably wins this year because everyone was high on that show. Most anticipated game, that's an interesting one. Rebirth, Hades 2, Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8. These are really the most anticipated games. I mean, like, these are like all games I'm really looking forward to, but that's crazy. Like, there's nothing else really to look forward to next year. I would say Rebirth is probably my most anticipated game for next year. Just because I want to see what the hell they do to Final Fantasy 7 some more. But yeah, there's like best performance. Where is that? Because that'll tell me the Star Wars game. Jedi Survivor. There we go. And best performance, I'd probably give it to 16. The main character in 16. But again, this is pretty hard. Like, I don't know what, like... They were all pretty good, but I don't know if any one of them really stood out. It's kind of hilarious that Peter Parker is nominated, but not Miles Morales. Like, I guess no one cares. But yeah, it's been an interesting year for games, and we'll talk about it end of the year stuff as that gets closer. But yeah, it's hard to say what my favorite game this year was. Like, in some ways, I would put Star Wars over Spider-Man 2. Like, Spider-Man 2 was really good, but Jedi Survivor was pretty good too. I'm looking forward to a sequel to that. And then again, I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3 or Alan Wake 2, so can't really say what's really gonna win it here. I would assume Baldur's Gate 3, though. And then during the Game Awards, they usually show a bunch of like new trailers, and one of the ones that could potentially show is a trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6. Finally, after 10, maybe 13 years, we're getting a new Grand Theft Auto. So they're saying early December for the trailer. So that's why I think it'll be at the Game Awards. And maybe there'll be like a short teaser and then the full trailer at the Game Awards. But early reports are thinking it's going to be coming out before summer, like maybe spring of next year. And then it's going to take place in Vice City and then have a female protagonist. So something to look forward to. A fresh new look at a new Grand Theft Auto. They finally had enough upgrades for Grand Theft Auto Online on 5. And I guess some more gaming news. There's going to be a Legend of Zelda movie. And it's going to be live action. And in a weird move, it's going to be also with Sony. Sony will be producing this movie with Avi Arad as one of the executive producers. He's been a part of a bunch of movies, like those Venom movies and Uncharted, which are like okay. So I don't know if this will do as good as that Super Mario Brothers movie that came out, but just have to see. I don't know who would play as a good Link for a live action Zelda movie. For some reason, I just think of Chris Pratt would probably play it well. Or who's the guy that Tom Holland, the latest Spider-Man, I think looks like he would be good. I don't know. I don't know about this Zelda movie, but it's probably going to come out in the next 3 years. So, yeah. We'll have to wait and see. And then on Netflix, there was Geeked Week. And where they showed off a bunch of new TV shows, movies that are geek influenced, I guess. Something that goes with our channel. We have Arcane Season 2 coming out next year, November 2024. I never got around to watching the first season, but I think Norman and Anthony both said they were pretty good, so something to look forward to. There's going to be a new Witcher animated series, and it's called Sirens of the Deep, which is like a short story from the books. And then the person that's going to be voicing Geralt here is the actor from the video games, and not what's his face, Superman. Not whoever the actor was playing the live action Witcher series, but it'll be the guy that did the voices for the games. So that's interesting. It's coming out late 2024. They showed a trailer for the Devil May Cry. Oh, there's audio. Devil May Cry anime that will be coming next year. And yeah, that looks interesting. Devil May Cry. Getting an anime. Terminator is also gonna get an anime for some reason. Again, there's audio. And yeah, they didn't really show anything, but that's crazy, a Terminator anime, which, you know, maybe the movies aren't doing so hot, so might as well just turn it into a show or an anime. They showed a trailer for Avatar: The Last Airbender, which will be coming to Netflix February 22nd. And yeah, there is a trailer out there, and some more cast photos if you want to check that out. In addition to Avatar, they are live actioning Yu Yu Hakusho, and that will start airing December 14th on Netflix. So one of those shows I didn't watch on Toonami. Like, I think it came on after Dragon Ball Z, and then once Dragon Ball Z finished airing on Toonami, I would just go outside and play. But I wonder how this will do. One Piece seemed fine. Wonder how the people that like this show will enjoy this one. 3 Body Problem is, I think we talked about it when it first got announced. This is the next Game of Thrones like book series, I guess, in a way, because it has the producers from the Game of Thrones adapting this for TV, and this is coming to Netflix March 21st, and I hear it's pretty good. I think I mentioned it, and I don't know if Anthony or Norman managed to listen to the audiobook, but I'll look forward to it on March 21st. I'm sure it'll be good. And then there was a new trailer for Rebel Moon. This is the new Zack Snyder film where, like, he pitched an idea to Star Wars, but didn't want to he wanted to make a Star Wars film, but not have any of the characters from Star Wars, just in that world. And then they turned him down, and then Netflix was like, yeah, sure, we'll pay for it. So something to check out. That comes out December 22nd, just a little before Christmas. And there is a helicopter outside doing announcements. But that was Geeked Week. There were way more announcements, but I'm just covering a couple that somewhat interested me. The actor strike has come to an end, so a bunch of movies are resuming filming. Here it says, I did not know there was a Gladiator 2 being developed, but there's Deadpool 3, I think, is going to be maybe the only Marvel movie that comes out next year. But Venom 3, Beetlejuice 2, a bunch of sequels, the hell. But yeah, the actor strike has ended, so both the writers and actor strike has come to an end, so everyone can get back to producing new movies and TV shows. Some trailers that hit over the week. We got the Ghostbusters sequel. It will be called Frozen Empire, and that's supposed to be coming out March 29th. I thought the latest Ghostbusters movie was not that bad. That's the one that stars what's his name? Judd, Paul Rudd, Ant-Man. So that movie was not that bad. It was like more of a teenagery, like kids movie, but then kind of like throwbacks to old Ghostbusters. So that's coming out March 29th. And then we also have a trailer for Inside Out 2. And this one will be coming out June 2024. And then it's like the girl that housed all those feelings is going through puberty, teenager life. So hilarity ensues. So that's coming out June of next year. And yeah, stuff you can catch this week though. We have the Hunger Games, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I think this is a prequel. I don't know. I'd never watched the Hunger Games movies, so I'm not quite sure what the story is other than, I guess, Katniss has a bow and arrow. I'd never watched the movies, so, but there's this movie coming out this Friday in theaters. Check it out. I don't know if it's been getting good reviews so far. I think it's like a meh. It's got Rachel Ziegler, dude. America's Best New Actress. Thanksgiving is also coming to theaters. This is the like Halloween movie for Thanksgiving. So what started off as a goof for Grindhouse from Quentin Tarantino and the other director will actually be coming out. And I think it's directed by Eli Roth. And yeah, that's coming out this Friday in theaters. In terms of shows, we got Monarch Legacy of Monsters, the Godzilla show that's starting on Apple TV Plus. I think this comes out Thursday or Friday. And yeah, looking forward to this one. I don't know, I just like Godzilla lore, and this seems fine. Like, sure, we probably won't get that many Godzilla scenes, but I kind of like this shadowy organization that like has been researching kaijus this whole time, and then I wonder what it will reveal. That starts this week. And then also Scott Pilgrim Takes Off starts on Netflix this week. I don't know if all the episodes come out or if it's week to week, but this is the adaptation, anime adaptation of a manga that was turned into a movie, which is pretty good. That came out like maybe 10 years ago, more than that. But yeah, excited to watch this on Netflix. Then we got some video games coming out, 2 RPGs. We got Super Mario RPG coming to the Switch. I think I talked about it, how I've never played this. So, something good to jump into, I guess. Hopefully it's voice acted. Doubtful. But, yeah. I've never played this before, so I would love to give it a try. And then we also have Persona 5 Tactica. This is like XCOM, almost like Baldur's Gate. Persona 5 spinoff. And yeah, I finished Persona 5 over the summer. Took me 100 hours. And sure, I'm down to play some more stories in that world. And this is coming, I think, to everything. And it'll be on Game Pass, I think. So, super happy about that. Don't have to pay. And yeah, those are games. We do have some sports for this week. We got AEW's pay-per-view Full Gear, which is taking place in Los Angeles. And yeah, it'll be on Saturday night. and I'll probably be watching it. I don't know the card, but I'm sure it'll be interesting. And then the Formula One Las Vegas Grand Prix is finally here. So we'll see if people really hate it. I feel like, like here's the course real quick, and there's a lot of straightaways. And I started seeing some complaints on Twitter, like it's an upside down pig. And I mean, it is kind of cool that it's on the strip. Like, people are like, why did they have to fuck up the strip for like months to build this F1 track? Why not just build it out in the desert? And it's like, no, if you're gonna do it in Vegas, like, you gotta have the strip as one of the things. Like, as you know, that's one of the why you do it in Vegas, because like you'll have a straightaway here on the main strip where I guess the Aria is, and the Cosmopolitan is where it turns. I think this is where the pit area is, and then it also passes by the Sphere, which is pretty cool. So yeah, and I think when we were originally looking at like, how much tickets and hotels were, like, they were super expensive, but I guess they've started coming down now. So I doubt we're gonna go suddenly to this thing. I think next year, after this year, we'll see like how much the racers like enjoy it or hate it. Like, Mercedes is not gonna like this or all these straightaways, because they'll just get burned by like Ferrari and Red Bull. Like, Red Bull will probably have a minute lead over everyone on this race, so it's gonna be a weird one. And yeah, we'll see the fallout from after. I'm just gonna assume Max Verstappen wins, handedly. Like, I'm gonna guess Max Verstappen first. Sergio Perez is gonna get second unless he crashes the car again. And then the Ferraris, and then maybe the Aston Martins as well. But Mercedes is not gonna do that great in this one. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's gonna be the Formula One Grand Prix. It starts, I think, Thursday is the practice, Friday's the qualifying, and the race is on at like Saturday 10 p.m. here. And then over in the East Coast, people are like, what the hell, why is it on at 1 a.m. on a Sunday? So like, and another thing about this is like, it's gonna be at night, and it's gonna, like, forecasts are showing that it's gonna be really cold. And then they're saying like this could be like the coldest race of the season and possibly of all time. So we'll see how much the racers like that. I mean, they were sweating it hard over in Singapore, and what was the one? I think it was Qatar, where they were like dropping out because of the heat. But yeah, we'll see how this one goes. Ooh, someone sneezed. But I think that's it. I managed to keep it to an hour. Wow. By myself. I am getting a new tabletop this week, and I'll be setting up a new battle station, I guess, in a way. I will. I don't think I'll be live streaming it, but I will take pictures and update next week on how it looks. I'll play Like a Dragon still. Maybe I'll try RPG, Super Mario RPG, and Persona 5 Tactica as well over the weekend. I'll be watching those sports. We got Formula 1 and wrestling this weekend. What else do we got? We got Thanksgiving next week, so hopefully everyone is prepared for that. fast. The year is going by fast. Because we're about to hit... I mean, we're halfway through November. And, yeah. It's crazy. Hopefully Norman will get better. Get better soon. And will be joining me on the podcast next week. And we'll try to plan out what to do for end of the year podcasts, or best of the year kind of things. And yeah, I'll try and move pictures or stuff around on this podcast layout. Maybe we'll try and come up with a new background. Yeah, I tried doing that. Like, I almost like called off the podcast just because I was getting a headache trying to move things around for the layout for this. Like, when we're doing YouTube and Twitch now, it's bigger, but I don't know if that's good. But I don't know. I need Norman's input on some of the changes I'm making here. So. And yeah, thank you to everyone that was in chat. Armand has been in here the last chiming in. Thank you. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one. Peace.